Alright guys, like we said, it's a best of 7 brand new series. Now it's worth noting there's some discussion between the players before we do introductions. I want to get out of the way where they're talking about like the server problems. You know, Bly is of course coming from Europe to meet Puck here on North America. Because the show match was specifically requested for Puck, we gave him the server advantage. Now that being said, I said at any point if both players agree, they may swap servers. Keep it manner, keep it great, keep it fun. But that's just so everyone's aware, if there is lag from Bly, it's not going to be QQ and excuses. He is literally coming from Europe to play here on North America, the home turf, so to speak. But getting into this now, I'm Rifkin, joined by Zombie Grub, and of course our lovely Observer Partoof. It's the last show match of the day, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in for it. Spawning in the top left corner of the map, he's from Acer. Give it up for the red Zerg player, Bly!
In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, it is IVD's Puck.
I gotta say, the stronger team colors with the probes and the IVD logo and blue. Oh, Puck's base just looks beautiful right now. Like, like home design status.
I feel bad for Emil though.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was actually almost blind. Now I feel bad.
Well, he raises cats for a living, dude. He doesn't
Does
make
he
his
really?
He doesn't make his money from StarCraft. He streams it for passion. He breeds cats, literally.
Are you serious?
I'm not even kidding you. You can ask him. That is, of course, Emil is one of the Polish streamers streaming today, by the way, guys, to avoid confusion there.
I feel like I can't make fun of him because I have so many cats, but it just opens up so many opportunities.
Opportunities for you to go buy more from him.
Yeah.
These are cats imported from Poland, guys. I'm not just a crazy cat lady.
Super fancy.
Yeah. Okay, so what I would love to say is that I would expect some crazy macro game coming out of these two, as it is Ultrazine, but the reality is Bly, I've mentioned this plenty of times before, he's well known for his more aggressive tactics, especially against Protoss players. Now, he did go for that safer opening here, where he took, or sorry, I shouldn't say safer, but the safer greedy opening, to be more accurate here, as he did go for the hat trick first.
Yep. Are you really going to do anything but hatchery first on this
I know,
map?
it's the map, right? You got 5 bases, your Zerg, you should take them all, but... You know, the thing for Puck, what kind of makes me sad is these are two players who, as far as the grand scheme of things goes, Puck is not the most well-known Protoss. Bly is not the most well-known Zerg, but to me, they are some of the better Zerg and the better Protoss players that I've had the pleasure of casting in the last, year of StarCraft 2. And we're going to really get to see some good matches out of this. I'm hoping that lag doesn't factor in too much.
Pylon's going to block this third for just a little while longer. The Lings are, of course, on the way. Goes in and scouts that a gas has, in fact, been taken. You know, I don't think Bly's really a person who doesn't get gas, you know, until 6 minutes. I feel like he always tries to get that faster speed, because he can then choose, like, do I want to do the 20 Lings, or do I want to...
Well, this is that map, too, where you can't really get away with it, right? Like, you know, he's the one who makes those 6 Lings early, harasses the natural base, but, you know, in Ultrazine, you got that choke to go through at the main. That's not really going to happen here.
Can you even forge fast expand on this map? Like, how would you?
Would you need to is the big question.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't need to, but I'm like, what if that's the only build you know? Those poor, like, platinum players are like, I don't know.
Well, Puck is opening here with a Stargate. We'll see if he decides to invest in an Oracle. Most likely is going to be the case on a big map like this. The speed bonus will be really nice. Phoenixes wouldn't be too bad either. Again, a big part of this map is Warpin's going to play into your favor. Ooh, Probe gets caught, actually. Does get killed. First blood. All those things. But anyways, Phoenixes wouldn't be too bad of a choice either. It's that sort of classical game styling, of course, but more importantly than that, they're going to maneuver around the map a little bit easier. On a massive map like this, too, we saw what Mutalisk could do. Phoenixes kind of have that same potential.
That's true. With how early it is, though... Oh, okay, it's going to be Phoenixes. And I guess... There's not too many Overlords to take care of. Usually you don't really want to spread them out in case they do for Phoenixes because, hey, Stargate Opener is really getting very popular for Zerg players. Goes in and tries to get by this one Zealot. It's not going to happen, but really nice micro on it.
I wasn't sure if those could run by it or not. Like, that hole doesn't look like it should be held by one Zealot, but I guess if the Scantipede can't get in, neither can the Zerglings.
No Scantipede allowed in. Protoss units only.
It was a Hitman, I think, that's calling him out for being an animal critter abuser. We're playing Habitation Station for the Canada-US Nation Wars, and he's going out of his way to kill the critters. I'm just like, why, dude? No one else in StarCraft 2 kills critters. What a dick move. But Puck is embracing them. It's just like the Zealot's pet, kind of just chilling.
Oh, I'd be so sad if Bly killed it. It's like a huge detriment to that Zealot's willpower. Speed has finished. He tries to go in again. Oh,
Ooh,
hey.
slips by with one. I don't know, but you know what? It gets scouting information. Sees the Phoenixes too. Puck was hiding them in the back just a little bit, so forced to reveal them. Not like I said, the Phoenix openers, it's not at all anything uncommon. This is how StarCraft 2 went for like 90% of Wings of Liberty and most of Heart of the Swarm when it opened. But what's really nice about the Phoenix opener is that, again, that maneuverability on a giant map like this is going to be huge.
He's also following it up with a Robo, getting some Void Rays as well. Not that he's afraid of a counterattack with Roaches. I mean, there's still going to be slow Roaches. That would be the longest, slowest counterattack in the world, but probably he's looking to invest in Void Rays as the game goes on. We have a Hydra's Den coming out for Bly, so I honestly feel like this is the first game in about 5 games of Bly that I've casted where he hasn't decided to go for an oddly timed, oddly number of lings.
Yeah, where it's like oddly all in, but not really at the same time. But, alright, gonna take a little bit of harass here. Queen should go down. Second grab time beam will be necessary. Okay, I wasn't sure if it would be. Wow, why did that corpse go
That was awesome.
The least dynamic but amazing death. But okay, so the reason Bly, of course, investing in Hydra is to help deal with these Phoenixes a little bit easier. He's got Spore Crawlers down, which will minimize the damage but not stop it. Of course, for Puck, expecting the Hydra, he's going to go for that Colossus Bay. Eventually get those Vipers out for Bly, and it's kind of this tit for tat that you get used to in Zerg versus Protoss. I do kind of feel, as far as end-game compositions go, it comes down to, it's almost like watching Ghost versus High Templar, right? Like, it's going to be the Templar versus the Vipers. If you get the feedbacks off, your Colossus are safe, you'll win that fight. But if Abducts go off, you lose the Colossus, you don't stand a chance.
This is a hard third for Puck to defend as well. It's technically a choke. It's not completely open thanks to this little tiny, thing in the middle. But it's still like really nice for those concaves, and you can also use both of those pathways to an advantage. Coming in from behind with a few Hydralisks and coming in from the front. So he's got to be careful with how he engages, because Bly, he's looking to do, I think, a Ling Hydra attack and then switch into mass mutas. So you're talking about how if it's good for Phoenix, it's good for mutas, and I think that's Bly's thinking too.
My apologies to our observer if he's following my camera. I would suggest not doing it for a moment. My mouse has been freaking out. It won't stop. Sorry, just a side note. I had to convey that information to Vartuv. But yeah, Ling Hydras could be something to catch him off guard, and Mutalisks are definitely something Bly enjoys using. He's kind of the Roach man, in my opinion, but he's able to use Mutalisks to great skill and extent. The Hydralisks, though, do not have the Groove Spine upgrades, just the Muscular Augment, so going to be a... Oh,
ooh, nice.
Picks off 2 of the Phoenixes. Nice catch. There's moves across. Why is my mouse doing this? I'm sorry.
Oh, he's going in for the attack right now. The cannon is popped. We'll take down an Overlord, I guess. That's not the most useful. But you're kind of forced to in that situation. Almost like versus Terran, where you just have to, where you're going to get overrun. It's still a little scary, even though he has a Colossus and a lot of force fields.
Ooh, 2 more Phoenixes go down. Or sorry, well, almost that last one. Almost does get it. Nice snipe out of Bly.
Yeah.
Lings are going to slip by into the main, actually. Force goes down a little bit late, so a couple do get into the mineral line. Zelt Weapon should be able to clean this up, but yeah, with the Colossus revealed, I don't know if Bly really wants to stay in the front lines like this.
It's hard to say. Puck, I think he could take this small army on, but he has no idea if there's anything waiting behind or if it's even going to be reinforced. The Lings do some damage to the probe line. A single Colossus, not usually what you see to defend a Bane, but I guess it works in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, Bly got his Lings in, did get cleaned up in the end. How many workers does he even kill there? So only like 6. Not a big deal, but 2. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong color.
All right, so Muta transition is on the way. So it's what I was talking about. You attack with a small to medium-sized army of Ling Hydra, which isn't too gas intensive, and then you switch right into Mutalisk. And it's only benefits him not because he killed the Phoenixes, but even if all the Phoenixes were alive, the surprise element when you get above 20, like in the first attack, usually takes down the Protoss player before they really have time to react. Luckily for him, Puck is getting a second Stargate already. And he's probably predicting this is happening just because the Ling Hydra attack did not happen. So he knows, like, okay, Mutas can be on the way, and now he just scouted it.
Yeah, interesting choice to put the macro hatchery in the main here too. It's actually gonna connect the creep. I like the positioning of this to the Nashville. Not that that's the biggest deal, but Bly's taking 5 bases. Puck is not exactly choked off on 3. A Protoss player will very comfortably play off of 3 bases, but Mulus can be somewhat limited on what they can do. Now it's not like Phoenixes are kind of they're built to be the counter to Mutalisk, but control really comes down more than the actual unit itself. Overcharge does go off immediately, and a couple Stalkers coming to defend, but Bly should be able to still gut this mineral line. Lots of probes here. Phoenixes will actually drive this back, and did Puck have his second Stargate scouted? No.
No, he also didn't have the Fleet Beacon scouted. If Bly scouts that, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to switch out of Mutalisk. Now, you don't usually want to do that. Usually when a Zerg player goes for Mutalisk in PvZ, they're sticking on Mutalisk, but...
Wow, focusing the base, he really wants this dead.
Wow. Yeah, I was not expecting that. But it is going to die. We're also going to get some probe kills as well. Not sure about that transfer.
Well, getting the base was definitely worth the snipe there. I was a little worried that it wasn't going to pay off because the Mutalisks were going to get picked. Going to even get some probes here. This is the persistence of Bly, I think we'll call it. Like, he will get the job done at whatever the cost. And he's actually taken a ninja base, but it's ironically been pyloned up by Puck already. So trying to clean up the pylons with these lings. For the Ennian Pulse Crystals, of course, for those who are maybe newer to StarCraft 2, they make the Phoenixes have such an insane amount of range that the Mutalisks can't even touch Phoenixes when controlled properly. But that being said, you invest in the Carapace upgrades, you get some Corruptors, and you use the Corruptors to buffer for the Mutalisks, and the Phoenixes just can't touch Corruptors. They have such a high base armor, it's insane.
He has scouted the second Stargate as well as the Fleet Beacon working, so he's got to, try and start mixing in Corruptors at the very least right now.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work out any other way. I really like that he's mass expanding. Unfortunately, he did not find that pylon, so a few warp-ins could kill it before he could react. But that's really what you want to do when you go for this style. Like, if you're going Mutas as a Zerg player, you should also mass expand behind it, like in most, if not all, matchups.
Yeah. I hope that didn't like the game. I just replayed my mouse in. Sorry. It's so freaking out. It's pissing me off. But the second Spire coming out, I really like this choice. My Insanity's Kane is really the only player I've seen us do in recent times, other than, Scarlet and such. But having the double upgrades, sticking with that air tech, Bly can absolutely win an air fight. Like, Phoenixes with Ennian Pulse Crystals are meant to 100% counter Mutalisks in every way. But when you add Corruptors into the mix, that's not quite the case. So, Puck, of course, doesn't have a huge Void Ray count. Already has a pretty healthy number of them, though. Hydra's being kind of sacrificed here to make room for supply, but that's kind of what he wanted to do anyways. What's really nice for Bly, too, is he's a player who also very comfortably plays with the Broodlord tech, so, if he clears everything out with the Corruptors, he can quickly make some Broodlords later on and just end the game, possibly.
This base is going to be taken out from just a few Zealots. I really like that Puck is, littering proxy pylons across the map. Not covering the left side again. What is with this bottom left? Like,
I don't know, man. Like, we need someone to spawn down there to resolve this issue, but Puck is going to push with the Colossus, with the Zealots, with the Void Rays. This is a composition right now that's very susceptible to Mutalisks if they were over here, but the reason Puck feels comfortable doing this is he knows they're all in the top right portion of the map at the moment.
Still gotta be so careful. Phoenixes do have pretty much all the upgrades they would need, plus +1 weapons, but they still cannot take on the Corruptors. Bly has to be really careful with meter control, can't let them get too far ahead. 14 more Mutalisk on the way will bring his count up to about 42. He's also getting those mass spine crawlers because he doesn't want the counterattack to easily take out bases before his Mutas can react.
And the big thing, too, is, guys, you gotta know...
Oh, he snipes the Mothership Core!
Ooh, Void Ray's gonna take the fight here, forcing Puck to dance around with the Phoenixes, try to get around the Corruptors and to the Mutalisks. They do get a great control shot there, but there's so many Corruptors still standing, and the Stalkers are trying to add what they can to this fight. The Corruptors doing a great job of zoning this army back, but the Colossus actually get away, which is the really key thing in this.
It's oftentimes they're the first ones to go down, so quite surprising to see them try and run away. It looks like they will be targeted down. At least one of them will be targeted down. The other ones, they're not going to fall because he has to deal with the Phoenixes first. Yeah,
the Corruptor count here is a little bit dirty, but the Stalkers are actually adding a lot to this, trying to take on the Mutalisks a little bit boldly, but... Puck's control, as great as it is, you guys have to consider, with the base armor +1 upgrade on his Corruptors, Phoenixes literally only do half damage to the Corruptors. Like, that's just how nullified they are by this.
Those Phoenixes aren't that heavily upgraded either. 1-1 with 2-2 just now in the way, but he's making them work. It's an entirely air army, pretty much, for Bly.
I'm really liking the style coming out of Bly here, too. Wow, how is he peaking around 800 APM right now? This guy's insane. Puck's got a pretty decent fortification here. Unfortunately, the Lings running by could be very problematic because he has nothing that can respond. Zealot's being warped in, and Bly's on 6 bases uncontested. Puck's not been able to apply pressure at this stage.
Yeah. thought that base went down, but I guess it didn't. So yeah, still on 6th base, not using it. So I don't know how much it really counts. But
Ooh.
Puck's having a hard time getting his own 4th. All the probes go down.
Yeah.
Just now getting a Templar Archives. Now storms aren't that beneficial, but you really, had that engagement that happened that went so poorly for Puck, had a few Archons. The Mutas wouldn't be able to stick around like they could. The Corruptors would have gotten so much splash damage. It would have really helped out. Unfortunately, it is too late.
You never see Storms incorporated in this sort of competition, but Mutals fleeting to the front lines are going to get picked off very quickly by these Phoenixes. Again, trying so desperately to outrange everything. They do technically outrange the Corruptors by 1, so we see the kiting going off quite nicely here, but Corruptors are just so strong. Like, they don't do a lot of damage, but they take a lot of damage from these Phoenixes.
It's quite, I'd say almost impossible to take 0 damage from Corruptors, even with the crystals. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that natural does go down again.
That is
actually,
really unfortunate.
It has a good number of minerals still left because it just hasn't been mining for that long.
This is a strange scenario to consider, but like massive cannon defense wouldn't be too bad in this particular scenario. Not that Puck can really afford it. Lings are going to try and clean out this base. On top of this, the Phoenix count has just dwindled at this point. It's almost non-existent. The Corruptors have done their job, and Zealots are going to try to hold off the Lings. Finally, we got the Stalkers trying to get involved with this fight, but a little bit too late, a little bit too... not enough, I guess. A little bit too little is what I should have said. Tapping out of game number 1. Good game is called, and Bly will lead the series.
I remember with the Colossus down, warping in Blink Stalker is not necessarily the best thing because then you just get swamped by those Lings.